building a rocket ship today, a model rocket ship. And so far, I've done some work on the lathe to make some pieces. So I'll show you those, if Daisy will let me. So far, I've made these 3 pieces to make our model, like so. Daisy, can I show them, please? Okay. Anyway, this is our model rocket ship. All I've done is carve the pieces so far, so that's where we're at. I'll show you what I've done so far, and I'll meet you back here to do some detail and adding all the little pieces. Okay, so what's the game plan? I think I'm gonna do like 3 main pieces. This, and then this is 1 piece, and then this piece. Drill a hole so that these can go in. Judging by the size of his hand, I mean, that's not much to go off of, but I just kind of took a guess that this would be about 15 inches long. So based on that, I did some measuring in Photoshop to help me figure out how wide these pieces are, how far from here to here. And then for these rounded pieces, I think I can just eyeball that part, hopefully. All these extra pieces will come later. This part, I'm really gonna have to think about how that's gonna go. But for now, I'm just gonna focus on getting this done as 1 piece, this done as 1 piece, and this done as 1 piece. Before that, I'm gonna do some practice pieces with some of the extra wood. Oh man, I missed this little guy. So yeah, I did try to use found wood at first. I wanted to use wood from somewhere around my house to make it more personal. This, I think, is a China berry tree, which is a very fast growing tree. So I don't think it's going to be a hardwood, so that may be a problem, but let's just see what happens. Well, that was exhilarating. So it's pretty good looking wood. I like the color. Nope, that wood was not going to work. It split apart after cutting it, even though it had been drying for a few months. And that's why I chose that one, but it was just too soft to work with. Actual wood turning pieces are expensive as hell, so without looking into it much further, I just picked up a big dowel from Home Depot. I had no idea what kind of wood this is, and it wasn't the best, but it worked well enough. Alright, you see me struggling. It took a while to get the hang of the cutting tools. According to the videos I watched about wood turning, apparently this was the primary tool to use, but it just never felt right. And after dealing with mistakes like this, I said, "Good day, sir," to that one, and did what I could with the other tools. By the way, the machine I'm using is called a Shopsmith, passed down from my grandpa. It's like a multi-purpose woodworking machine with other parts like a table saw and a bandsaw that all attach to the same motor. But this is the first time I'm using the lathe feature. It's pretty fun to shape the wood this way, so if you think of any other Dr. Stone doohickeys I can turn, let me know in a comment. Now to drill a hole through this middle piece, which the other two pieces will go into. I ended up having to remake this piece because, well, yeah. Can you tell I was pretty heartbroken there? On the second piece, I instead drilled into both sides without going all the way through. So for all these little details, especially up here, I'm mostly just going to draw them on. I know this is pretty much all wood, but I think it would look pretty cool if there were some little metal details. So some of these little details will be metal added. I hadn't decided yet what those metal pieces would be, but once I get to that part, you'll see I kind of got carried away with the metal. For drawing, I started with a thin pencil and was just going to use a Sharpie, but they bleed and have a weird sheen, so luckily I have these pens made for writing kanji. They still bleed a little, so it's kind of annoying, but still much better compared to a Sharpie. I looked around the shop for little hardware that would be fitting for the metal pieces, and I love these recessed washers. They just add a little more dimension, and it's just a rivet that happened to fit perfectly in the middle. When he saw I was going to be working with metal, my dad offered some tips, techniques, and tools to cut the metal, make it look real nice. One thing I said a long time ago when I first got into Dr. Stone is that my dad is a lot like Kaseki. He was definitely excited about this crafting project, can't help himself if he sees that I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm glad to have learned from him that if you're gonna bother doing it, you might as well do it right. We tried a few different ways, actually, for cutting the metal. My favorite being the nibbler. The air-powered nibbler was pretty crazy. While the manual version was slower, you can't beat the precision. We threw together this interesting little contraption for cutting a slot for the rocket's legs to go into. It keeps the tool steady and straight and slides the piece towards it at the right angle for the cut to go straight towards the center. All right, well, here we are. I've just been cleaning up after finishing up the last epoxy little touches. I just made sure I had everything here, but I have not put it together yet, but it should be all finished. So you get to join me for the first time putting it together. Okay, starting from the top, and then we need to put on these little things sticking out. First we have these little things in the back. There we go. Just jam those in. Alright, and then the antenna things. Okay, so the one on the right is just some random screw things I found and some wire. And on the end, a lot of these have like a little just a little dab of epoxy just to give a little dab at the end. Okay, so there's that one. Then this one. With this little satellite dish. Here. Then that, there we go. Yeah, coming together. So with that one, and those, that's the top. Okay. Then this piece got little flush screws for these little boosters on the side, and there is another antenna on the side. Oh, missing a little bit. Just a connector. From here to here. Excellent. Oh, and these antennas have the thing poking out. Cut that in half. All right. Now our antennas will be complete. Hey, look at that. Okay, middle piece finished. Just put that right there. Bottom piece, bottom two pieces. Just this thing needs just that to put the rest up underneath. We've got the boosters down here. The front is here. There we go. Okay, bottom, and let's put them all in. So that goes there. This goes on that side. And this is it. Okay, that one needs, where's the other? Okay, there it is. It's a little wobbly, I'll fix that. What do you think? Oh, that wall was gotta go. Awesome. Well, that was a very fun puzzle to put together. A lot of trial and error. So that's our model rocket. I hope you enjoyed watching the process. Let me know what you think, how it looks. You know, when you look at it in person, it feels like you can really imagine like the real thing floating in space. I'm really happy with it. I think it's such a cool thing to have. So I've got plenty of other Dr. Stone builds planned. Some of them are already in the works. So it's time for me to move on to the next one. There's your clue for what's coming next.